My name's Esther. I'm originally from St. John's, Newfoundland, actually, but I'm living in Nova Scotia. Um, yeah, about me, I'm a new mom.
When you joined this program, what was it that you were really experiencing in your mind, body, in life before joining?
Yeah, I mean, since I had my daughter, I've had a lot more, I would say now, knowing what I know because of you, gut issues. Just like always felt like my stomach hurt and wasn't really sure why. Mentally, like my daughter has been in the hospital since she's been born, so mentally I was in definitely a hard spot. And just with everything emotionally, but also you're a new mom, so you have a whole new body to get used to. And even before I had my daughter, before I was pregnant, I definitely had body image issues where I felt like my body wasn't good enough for me, or yeah, just for me, really. I just needed to change my habits for sure, because I was like, I'm not getting the results I want at the gym, but I also wasn't being consistent. And I was feeling super bloated, but I also wasn't eating foods that helped my body. And so, yeah, I just came to a spot where I was like, I am not personally happy with what I see myself as now. I don't feel like I know this body. I don't feel like I know my mind, that everything had changed. And so I was kind of just like, I just don't like everything that's going on with me. And I knew the only way that would all change is if I did something about it. So that's when I had seen like you on social media every now and then. And it was always like in the back of my mind of, wow, I should message her, or like, but I don't have time, or I don't, because in the hospital every day with my daughter, right? So, yeah, but in the end, I decided that I actually wanted better for me. And yeah.
Mm.
I haven't worked with an actual coach in the past, but I've had friends who were like into the gym and stuff like that I tried to ask them questions. But honestly, I didn't want to do it. Like I said, oh, I want my mind to change. I want to build better habits for me that like will bring me further to the person I want to be. But I never actually did it. And then I would look up randomly like healthy meals, but they actually weren't providing me any sort of nutrition. And at the end of the day, I was under eating. But thinking like, oh, if I eat less, then the number on the scale will be less. And that's so not the case, but so many people think that that's the case. But really, I was just depriving my body of like everything it needed. So yeah.
That much. So what made you take that action to finally change now?
Honestly, my daughter. I just, since having her, I've thought, because even now, it's still something I struggle with, but I'm doing way better with it now. But just being so negative to myself before, like saying that I wasn't beautiful, that I wasn't, the number on the scale wasn't low enough. And even when I was at my lowest weight ever, I thought, oh, I need to lose an extra 10 pounds, which that would have been so unhealthy. And after I had her, I just thought, I never want my daughter to think this way. And if she grows up watching me saying negative things about me and under eating and doing all these things, doing all these fad diets, that like she's going to end up that way too. And so I really just, because of her, I just wanted to break that cycle.
What made you specifically choose me? Because there's a lot of health and wellness coaches online. What made you specifically want to work with me over other coaches or other programs?
I mean, I think you do a great job at putting yourself out there. which is nice. Honestly, I felt like whenever I was on social media, like you were there. And so it was more of a, I just saw you so much and I was like, and you're always like doing all these videos on like how to, like the gut thing actually was a big one, like how to like heal your gut and stuff like that. And that's when I was like, oh, well, I have stomach issues. Maybe that's like my gut. Like, I don't know. And it was just, I kept seeing that. And it just seemed like you were very, and I know now you definitely are just so committed to your clients, and it's very personable, and it's not just everybody gets one plan and that's supposed to work for everyone, because I don't believe that that works. Like everyone needs an individual plan. And yeah, and so I think definitely that you just seemed so personable and so willing to adapt your teaching for me personally. And after I talked to you and told you my story, told you I'm living with my daughter in the hospital like 6 nights a week, home one night, and how I really don't have a lot of time, you were like, yeah, that's fine. Like that is completely fine. Where I feel like in other areas of my life, people will be like, oh, well, okay, come back when you have the time, or a type of a thing. But yeah, your willingness to just work with me, even though my time is small, and now I know you make time for what you want. So, and I really wanted this, so I've made that time. But yeah, you were just so willing to just
that's why I love the customization and really talking with you guys through everything and being like, where are you at? And so it seemed like it was my adaptability and flexibility with you, and also holding you to the higher standard. Like, yes, you can do this. You can figure this out. You can become resourceful. But really, it was you that decided to take these actions and go figure it out in your own life, right? I can lead you to the right guidance and steps and support, but you're the one who took these actions and really got these results. So It was you. It was you. I'm curious, what did you love most about the program, and why do you think it worked so well?
You customizing it and like making it fit each client's life, that is a big part. But especially being able to just message you whenever and like you'll reply, that's a big thing for me. Like, you know, every morning I usually message you and I'm like, hey, I feel so good, or I don't feel great, or I feel this way. And just having that person that you know is there for you and that is going to reply, and their reply is going to help you. But yeah, just knowing that if I did have a question, that you're right there, and you'll reply when you can. And it's not like days and days go by and the question isn't actually valid anymore. But it's like the day you message back and you're like, hey, well, we'll switch this up. It's not like the plans are set in stone. Like if something's not working or I don't feel great doing it or whatever, like it'll be modified. So just like the ease of it all, it's not like, it's not hard. Like, and it's kind of easy. Like, yes, you need to work for it. You need to go to the gym, you need to meal prep, and you need to try new things. And that can be difficult. That can be uncomfortable, but it's not hard. And I think before, my mindset was like, going to the gym is hard, going and picking out all my meals and knowing what I should be eating and what not to eat, like that's hard. But you have it all laid out, like even like the meals and stuff, and the grocery lists and everything like that. Like it seems like you just really thought of everything. And a lot of the time I would ask a question, you're like, oh, it's actually in this section of your program, like here you go. And
I love to hear that. Would you agree that the hardest part was making the decision?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, when I was like on the call with you and I was like, I'm gonna do it, I was like sweating a little and I was like, should I do this? Like, holy crap. But yeah, but it's nerve-wracking, it's uncomfortable. But I mean, through this program and I've just realized that like uncomfortable means that you're trying something new. And yeah, and if you just stay comfortable, you're not going to ever really elevate and get better or yeah, all that. So I'm learning now through you that like being uncomfortable means that I probably should do it. And even like in the gym, like going to an actual gym made me feel so uncomfortable. And I tried to put it off getting a membership, and now I got a membership and I'm way more comfortable now. Like before I wouldn't go unless a friend was going or something like that. But yeah, but now I just go, and yes, things are still like, I'm not fully like comfortable at the gym, but that's fine. I'm just working on that. And you're not just like, oh, Esther, just go. Like, that's stupid. Like, you need to go to the gym or whatever. You're like, yeah, I completely understand that that's uncomfortable. And I remember you said like, maybe one day just go and like go on the treadmill and like do baby steps and then be comfortable. It's not like you just throw us into like a ring and you're like, okay, go do it. It's you understand, you're personable, so you ease us into it. And so I always felt like a lot of the time I just wanted someone to be there, even just going and doing errands and stuff like that. But now I'm kind of the opposite. And a lot of the time I'm like, well, if I go and just go by myself, I can do what I need to do to get what I need done. And then I can go back home, and because I am on a tight schedule, so relying on people, like people will be late and people do this, and that's completely fine. Like they're doing their thing, but now I need to do what's best for me. And that's all that leads back to like, a lot of people say, oh, I don't have time to do a fitness program or whatever. But you do, because you have time for whatever you make time for. So whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel good, you're going to have time for. But
prioritize things that we value and also that we understand. And so when we don't understand something, then there's the unknown, there's that feeling of discomfort. And so it's harder to get ourselves to prioritize that until we become familiar. And so you become more familiar with the gym. Now you understand it better. You actually value it better too, because you understand the science behind things and everything you've been working on, and you've seen the benefits from it. And so now it's going to become a bigger priority. And you also have a strong why, which is your daughter, which I think is so beautiful. So I'm curious, what are some of the results that you've gotten? Like what have you noticed since implementing a lot of these practices and systems and tools that's within the program?
Yeah, I mean, my stomach issues, my bloating has pretty much gone. I've found out there's foods that don't agree with my body super well. So just staying away from certain foods has really helped me, and I don't feel like I'm depriving myself or anything. I feel full, like not eating, like for me, gluten, I've realized is a big no for my body, which I didn't know. I would have said like dairy more than gluten, but definitely now it's gluten more than anything is like, wow, that hurts me. But I didn't know that, right? And so yeah, that's the big difference, is just like I actually feel good. And I think a lot of the time before it's like, oh, my stomach hurts, or, oh, my side hurts, but you don't really know why it hurts. You think that that's just normal. Well, at least for me, I was like, that's just normal. Like I just had a baby, no duh that my stomach hurts or something like that. But it lasted for months. And even before that, it's been years. And I thought that was normal. And I thought that like, I always had a bunch of like, weight around my abdomen and belly, but now I know like a lot of that was actually bloating. So that has definitely gone down, and now I feel great after I eat. And and I definitely now I feel so much stronger going to the gym and everything. I do feel a lot stronger. I can definitely see it too. To the store a few times after I had my daughter, and I just hated trying stuff on because I wasn't my regular size or anything like that. And I was like, wow, like Esther, you need to get it together. Like, this is not okay. Like all this stuff. And I definitely went into this program thinking like, oh, I'm going to get skinny and I'm going to lose the weight and I'm going to do this. And I didn't really think of being strong. And now I'm like, wow, I'm so strong. I'm going up in weights at the gym. But like, yeah, now I'm going to stores and I enjoy trying clothes on because I feel more myself, mentally too. Like this whole experience has been such, a big mental step for me. And, like I said, I went into this program thinking of just my body, but my mind has changed way more. My body's changed also, but I just really notice every week it's like my habits are getting better and my habits are getting better. And that means that I'm doing things that help my mind and my body. And I'm just feeling so much better, even with everything that I've been going through and my family's been going through with my daughter in the hospital. It's like, people always say like, wow, like you guys are so like happy. Like why? Like you kind of should be sad. Like your daughter's in the hospital. And for a long time I felt selfish, for trying to focus on myself and everything. But that's not actually true. And I think you said like it's selfless doing that and focusing on myself, because the better I am, the better I can be for her. And me, like before I felt like, honestly, I was just in like this pit and I didn't know where to go. And I, had the victim mentality all the time of like, why is this happening to me? Like, why did this have to happen to my daughter? And, nothing's going to get better. She's not going to do well and she might not make it and all this stuff. And, but I control how I feel. Like there's going to be things going on in your life that will like knock you down like crazy. And I know that, but you control how you react. And if you want to, you can stay in that negative space for a really long time, or you can make changes that are going to just help you be the person you want to be. So before this program and before I even had my daughter was that it was like, I was pushing myself so hard because I thought I should be able to get this many reps in and stuff like that. But, and I remember my first workout, I was like, I did it all and then some, and I feel like I'm going to throw up. And you're like, you shouldn't be feeling like that. And, it's true, but I was just depleting myself. So then that was making me not want to go and work out again because I just felt like crap. But now I know, what I can and can't do. And like, yeah, it's just, I just go, I get a great workout in, I feel great, I'm getting stronger, but I'm also not overworking my body to the point where all I need to do is like just lay down and sleep because I overdid it. Which is a really good feeling. Just feeling good during this whole thing has been great and eye-opening for me.
And by the way, you've lost over 15 pounds and it's only been 8 weeks. It sounds like you've been doing this for like months and months, but it's literally only been 8 weeks and you've had all these breakthroughs and changed all these perspectives. I think that's super important because a lot of people are afraid. They're like, oh, I don't want to go on a diet. I don't want to restrict myself. And so they're afraid of this restriction, but you're like, hey, I've actually eliminated some foods that don't make me feel good, but I'm full. And it seems like you don't even care. Like you don't even want them anymore. And it's not a big deal. Like you feel so much better now. So I'm happy you're able to have those perspective shifts around food and exercise and just like your life in general. I'm curious, how else has this affected your life? Like you've talked a lot about how it has changed your perspective on yourself, on when you're trying on clothing. Is there any other areas that it's really like, wow, my life is so much better now because of this, as a byproduct of really transforming my body and my mind?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this has trickled into literally every other aspect of my life. Me being more positive to myself, I'm being more positive in everything I do. I'm trying not to just like, if something negative happens to me, I don't just like jump to like, oh my gosh, everything's over, like this sucks, like boo me type of a mentality. And I'm more like, okay, let's work through this. Just like, cause I feel like with you just taught me that there's like always another way. So like if something's not working for me in the program, then we change it. So just in my day-to-day life, if something's not working for me, okay, then let's change that. Let's make it better so it will work for me. But yeah, I think just for me, like everything, this sounds so cheesy, but like everything's gotten better. I'm a way more happy person, but I'm also focusing on me. And a lot of the time I looked for other people's validation, and wanted everyone to like think a certain way about me and think that I was great and that all this stuff, when that really isn't important. And I was trying to find happiness in other people when I needed to do things for me that made me feel happy with who I was. And yeah, so really just, I've been using this time to really focus on my daughter, but also on myself. Because if I'm not okay, then everything around me isn't going to be okay. So for me, just mentally, this has been just like a major transformation for me. And I just think like opening like to a new chapter, like even a new book, like I'm not in the same book as before, like at all, which again, I've just realized that my whole life, I haven't been happy with myself. I was hard on myself. I was negative with myself. And I always thought like, well, if I had this, I could be better. If I had a better metabolism, like this girl over here, like then I would be better, and like all this stuff, when actually if I made choices that were good for me, then I would be the person I wanted to be. So it's all about just choosing this and knowing that like you're in control, and if you're not happy with something, then you can change that, and you're not stuck where you are. Like you can get better, you can change, and it's not even about getting better, it's just about getting where you want to be. And I always wanted to be in a different place, but I wasn't doing anything to get me there.
You can tell the way that you talk with me, even like your skin and the way that you radiate at a different frequency now. Yeah. You're just on a different level.
Yeah.
You're just on such a different level.
I was so not confident with myself at all. Like I was like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do it, but they can and I can't, but like I can. And but I always put myself like so low, and that just was so not okay. But now I realize that for me it was just like, okay, I'm choosing to be happy, I'm choosing to love myself, and I'm choosing me, and that trickles into my daughter. I want her to choose her to be happy, and just have a great mindset. But if I'm negative, she's going to be negative too, and I don't want a negative daughter.
So what were those hesitations, and where do you think you would be if you didn't join the program, if you didn't follow through with it?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I definitely would not be happy. I think I would just be blaming all of my problems on everything else, like thinking that, and just being negative to myself too. I think I was just in such a negative space, and I think I just would have kept up that negativity. I think I feel like things have been really positive for me lately, but I think that's only because I've been positive. Before I was like, oh, all bad things happen to me. Like that always seemed to happen, but it was kind of like I was seeking the negative to stay in that negative mentality, right? Maybe going to the gym, but not actually doing anything that would benefit me, not changing my meals because I thought I would just be eating rice and bland chicken breast if I was trying to eat better, which that's not the case at all. I love the meals that I make now, and I actually enjoy them. Whereas before I thought that it was just going to be bland food and I was going to be hungry and all this stuff, and then that would lead me to being hungry and then like eating a bunch of food that didn't help me, that made my body feel bad, like not great. So I think I would just still be in that cycle. of wanting to change.
It seems like you're a lot more self-aware of, of the states that you're in, of the words that you're using, and how to utilize the tools from this program to really transform that, because everything starts within the mind.
Yeah.
You have like finance issues, health issues, like all these things, it all stems within the mind, and, which is why I feel like you're having such a big breakthrough here.
Yeah.
And so I love how you're talking about that. I'm curious, did you know that you were so negative? Because this is something that you keep on repeating. Did you consciously tell yourself, like, I'm so negative, I'm a really negative person? Like, did you know that? Or is that only now that you've joined this program, reflecting back, that you're noticing how much this was really impacting your life?
Yeah, honestly, since I've been in this program, I thought that I was like, I don't know. I did not think that I was a negative person. And I think if someone would have said, like, you're really negative, I would have been like, no, I am not. Like, I am not negative. Are you kidding me? I'm so friggin' positive. But I wasn't at all. And when things would happen that I wasn't happy with, like, I would just be so negative in that and stew in it for a long time and let it bother me. Where like that is not going to help you at all. And I'm not saying not when something bad happens, not to like just brush off and be like, I am fine, because you need to work through things, you need to deal with things, but doing it in a way that actually helps you get better, and not just a way of like stewing in it and being like, wow, this crappy thing happened to me and I'm just going to think about it all the time. Now I know better. So when I catch myself being negative, I'm like, no, we're gonna move past that. We're not gonna brush it off and push it down, but we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna move past it. Because stewing in it is just so not good for me personally. And it didn't bring me anywhere good. So yeah.
It seems like before you were in a very reactive state. Now you're a lot more proactive. That's what I like to do, is proactivity, finding solutions, asking better questions. We ask better questions, we get better answers, better solutions, better results. So it really seems to be what's happening. So I'm happy that you've been able to recognize this negativity in your words, because that's not something I ever told you. I was never like, hey, Esther, you're really negative right now. And like, I never said that. These are your words and your realizations that you came to. If anybody's watching this and they're considering potentially working with me or booking a call to see if they're a good fit and being a part of this program, what would you say to them? Because like a lot of people are afraid of failure, or afraid of the time commitments, the energy commitments, and even the financial commitments that you made to be a part of this. And you went through all of those and experienced those emotions firsthand. And like we chatted about before, the hardest part for you was making that decision, was saying yes. And once you said yes, everything became so much easier and clearer for you. So what would you say to that person?
I mean, even if it was me talking to me, like before I even started this program, I would be like, you need to do it. I mean, there's always going to be worries. So if someone asked me, I would say, just go and do it. For me, like my question was always, financially, can I do this? Time-wise, can I do this? Like, can I actually physically do this? And like, the answer is yes, you can do anything you want. So it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's kind of a good sign. It is a good sign. Now looking back on it, like I would do it again and again and again. Like I'm not like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or financially I shouldn't have done that, or time-wise I regret it. It's not that at all. For me, time was a big thing. And I thought, I don't have time for this. Like I really don't. But I wanted to get better. So I kind of just did it and was like, well, I guess I have to make time now. And really it's really easy to make time, because before I hated going to the gym. I was not looking forward to it. When it was like my first actual workout plan that you made me and I had to go do it, I was like, crap, I should have thought about this, because now I actually have to work out. And yeah, but now I enjoy going to the gym. I make sure that I carve a chunk out of my day where it's like I'm going to the gym. Now I feel like it's kind of like therapy. And especially being a mom, like just having a place to go and to just like be with myself and do things that are helping me. And now I see like my body getting stronger. That is a huge motivation for me. Huge. And just seeing like my body changing and all this stuff. I love that. And again, just mindset. I went into this thinking that this was just about my body, and it is like, yes, it is about your body. But for me, it's been such a phenomenal like mind change. I'm just so much more happier. Just doing things that help me and picking me. And yeah, I think a lot of people are on the fence, just being like, I can't do it, but you can. And yes, it's hard at first, like financially it's a commitment, physically it's a commitment, time-wise it's a commitment, but like you will definitely thank yourself later. And if you don't start now, then when are you going to start? Because it's always like, oh, well, I'm just going to wait till life gets easier and I'm not as busy, and like maybe in the summer or after the summer, so I can eat what I want in the summer and like drink what I want in the summer, and then maybe during fall or something like that. That was literally my mind doing this. And I was like, you know what? No, because I'm always saying I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. And you never end up doing it later. And so for me, I was just like, I'm doing this now, and I'm going to just like start being happy now. For me, it was just like, I'm choosing myself, and I'm choosing to be happy, and I'm choosing to do things that are going to make me happy. And yes, it's hard now, but that it has a huge payoff in the end. And for me, it's not just I'm doing these 3 months with you and then it's over and I don't go to the gym and I don't eat. I go back to eating the diet I was on before I did this program. It's not that. It changes like your whole life, which again sounds cheesy, but it does. It's a lifestyle change. It's not a 3-month change. It's not a 3-month diet fad. It's not that at all. Which I think a lot of other things are like that. It's like how to lose pounds fast and all that stuff. And I've tried it. I've looked at stuff. It's like, and it's just crazy what I thought was good for my body and healthy before that actually isn't. This being healthy is not depriving yourself at all. It's actually the complete opposite, giving your body what it needs. But yeah.
And so what you're basically telling people is that the things that they believe to be limitations aren't really limitations. They're only limitations because you're putting them on yourself. But if you were to look for solutions, that they're there and that you're actually able to, if you want something bad enough, and that the payoff is worth it. Like you found it is worth it. Especially through everything that you've learned from this program. It's not a 3-month thing. I don't want people to come in 3 months and then go back to how they were. That's not the point. I want you to have the tools, the knowledge as well. Like, right, like you're a lot more knowledgeable on things. Now when you look at supplements, when you look at different foods, or like you understand things at a much more fundamental level. So you value them at a higher level, and you're able to prioritize them and make the choices that create a better life experience for yourself. So I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. This was amazing and so much value, and I'm sure so much inspiration for many. So I appreciate you sharing your experience with everybody.
No, thank you.
Thank you. All right. We will chat later. We still have another month together, so we'll see what else we'll accomplish in the next month.
Sounds great.
Awesome.